Something that God has been speaking to me about a lot is worthiness, and how I have had a habit of withholding love from myself in times and in places where I do not feel lovable, or I don't feel like I've measured up to my standard of what is lovable. And I think this is a very human thing for people to do. We've been taught from when we're young, actually, by our parents, by our peers, by our teachers, just by people in our life, that if you behave correctly, then you'll be loved and accepted. And if you don't, then often the habit of people is to withhold love and withhold acceptance until you measure up to what that person expects of you, until you behave correctly. And that happens because people do that to themselves. When people do that to themselves, they do that to their children. They do that to other people. And so I actually think to break the cycle, we start by doing it with ourselves, by loving ourselves back, and by telling ourselves we are worthy of love in the places where we don't feel lovable. And I wanted to just remind you, because God's been reminding me, that you are the most lovable when you feel like you're not, actually. That's when God is the most close. That is when God has the most love in his heart for you, is when you don't feel like you could ever be loved or ever be accepted or ever be seen and still be loved. That is when you are the most loved. And so I just wanted to speak over you some declarations today and just tell you that you're loved in a lot of different times in your life when you might feel like you're not loved. Some things that God has been telling me about love. So I wanted to tell you that you are worthy of love if you didn't put your makeup on today. And you are worthy of love if you ate too much today. And you are worthy of love if you didn't eat enough today. You are worthy of love if you were late to every appointment today. You are worthy of love if you're angry at somebody. You're worthy of love even if you want to kill somebody, you're that angry. You're worthy of love. You are worthy of love if you're super afraid right now. You're worthy of love. You are worthy of love if you spent all of your money that you were supposed to pay your rent with and you went shopping. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of love if you have misspent or misused your finances at any point in your life. In that moment, you're the most worthy of love. You are worthy of love if you disappoint every single person in your entire life. You're worthy of love if you've decided to divorce your significant other. You are worthy of love if you've committed adultery. You are worthy of love. And there's so many things that God is just wanting to say to you guys right now. You're worthy of love if you're severely overweight. You're worthy of love if you think you're overweight. You're worthy of love if you're severely underweight. You are worthy of love if you have so much money. And you are worthy of love if you have absolutely no money. You are worthy of love if your car doesn't start. And you are worthy of love if your car does start. You are worthy of love if you do the most insignificant profession in your mind. And you are also worthy of love if you do the most significant profession. You are worthy of love if you are nice to absolutely no one today. You're still worthy of love. You are lovable. You are lovable. You are lovable, and you grow more and more lovable every single day. You are worth it. You are worthy of love. You are worth dying for. You're worth dying for when you're late. You're worth dying for when people hate you. You're worth dying for when you think that you're ugly. You are worth dying for when your whole family rejects you. You are worth it. You are worthy of love. You're worthy of love as soon as you wake up in the morning, when you go to sleep at night, all through the night, every single thing you do in the day, you are worth it. You are worthy of love. God wants you to know that in this very moment, whatever is on your mind, whatever you've done today, you are worthy of love. Just sit with yourself for a moment today and just tell yourself, I love you. I love you no matter what. You're worth it to me. You're worthy of love. You're worth dying for. You're worth it. I love you. In that one behavior, that addictive behavior that you hate about yourself, that thing that you're the most ashamed, sit with that thing and tell yourself, in that thing, you are worth it. You are worth it. You are lovable. You are worthy of love. I see you there in that thing you're so ashamed of, and you are worthy of love. You are so worth it. You're so worth it. In every single part of yourself, you are worth it. That behavior that you're ashamed of will not change until you can love it, actually, until you can accept it. And it is worth it. You are worth it. You are worth loving. You are worth accepting. It starts with you, and it starts with God. Tell yourself right now, today, that you are worth it, that you are worthy. That is where everything begins to change, I promise you. You are the most lovable in the whole world, the most lovable that you will ever be in this moment, and in the next moment, and the next moment. You grow more and more and more lovable. You will never be rejected. You are worth it. You are lovable. Have a wonderful day. You are loved.